The big country is no stranger to storms.
And then all of a sudden, like, the roof caves in.
We are in Tornado Alley.
We feel like there was a tornado that came through Zephyr last night.
And when danger lurks,
I decided to crawl underneath my mattress.
the KRBC Storm Team is keeping you ahead of the storm.
Thanks for being here for this special presentation from the KRBC Storm Team. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dylan Smith.
And I'm Grant Tosterud. Over the next 30 minutes, we're exploring the upcoming severe weather season and ways to make sure you are safe. We'll also go into the science of our weather to make sure you feel comfortable.
First, we're talking about our geographic location and its impact on how much severe weather we get. We are all familiar with Tornado Alley, but now there's talk about it shifting. Does this put the big country out of harm's way? We're taking it to the experts at the National Weather Service.
Oh, dude, that's a big tornado.
We have not been hit by an EF3 or greater tornado in any of our communities for a long time.
And while we do see tornadoes here in the big country and already have this season, they've mostly been classified as either EF0, 1, or 2.
It seems sometimes that we get a lot of action in Oklahoma and North Texas and some parts of Central Texas as well. In other years, it shifts into Dixie Alley, which is another tornado-producing area, which actually has a lot of population, and it's very hard to see them coming because of the moisture there. It's so moist. There's really not a real good way to determine which one is going to be more active. Last year it was Dixie Alley, and our neck of the woods was fairly quiet. And it's sort of been that way off and on, at least for Texas, since I've been here, which has been going on almost 9 years now.
Living here in the big country, we're no strangers to the term Tornado Alley or severe thunderstorms or hail or any of that, as that's a pretty regular occurrence at times. And we do technically live in an area called Tornado Alley. At least parts of the big country are included in that. That just means that we live in an area that's a little more prone to seeing a higher frequency of tornadoes. Over the past several years, though, we've seen that area expand. That's that orange spot behind me. That now includes an area called Dixie Alley, which is the more active severe season last year, and a place called Hoosier Alley in the Midwestern states. Now, last year we were very quiet when it comes to severe weather, but this year could be a little bit different thanks to a few different factors. So my best advice moving ahead for this severe weather season is to always be prepared for anything.
We'll just have to wait and see. Just be prepared. That's the best advice I can give anybody.
And no matter where Tornado Alley actually is, we all know Mother Nature can surprise us at any moment. Right now on your screen are suggestions to make sure you are weather aware. First, a NOAA weather radio. This radio is extremely reliable, sends weather alerts for your area, hopefully loud enough to wake you up in the middle of the night. We suggest a Midland weather radio available at many of our local stores.
Second, your phone emergency alerts can be sent through your phone, and those can be life-saving. We also recommend using the BCH2Go mobile app. The app is free and uses your location to send alerts for the area you are in. Be sure your notifications are on, and don't forget code RED, which is important for Abilene residents. This is the system Abilene uses to notify you through your phone. Abilene does not have tornado sirens.
And finally, using us, the KRBC Storm Team. When severe weather breaks, we're going to be here. And we do want to show you the ways in which we promise to be there for you.
Our #1 goal is obvious: to keep you and your family safe. The KRBC Storm Team of meteorologists works around the clock to make sure you are weather aware 24/7.
Second, we aren't just here on TV, we're also online. That means bigcountryhomepage.com, the BCH2Go mobile app, and of course, Facebook and Twitter. We'll use our online properties more liberal as to not disturb your favorite NBC programs.
Which leads us to interrupting your favorite programs. We promise to not excessively interrupt your TV show unless it's a real danger to a populated area. We know there are important moments of shows like The Voice or This Is Us that you don't want to miss, but we also want you to know that real lives are at risk. Plus, you can always catch up on your favorite shows on the NBC app.
And along those lines, we promise to be clear, accurate, and to the point with our cut-ins. We want to get in, tell you the latest important information, and return you to programming. Keep in mind, though, if a tornado is on the ground in a populated area, all bets are off.
Finally, don't forget, the second a warning or watch drops from the National Weather Service, we will use our weather scroll at the bottom of the screen to keep you updated. We believe this is non-evasive while also keeping you apprised of the information. Dylan?
Here in the big country, especially in springtime, we often see strong to severe storms. Now, the reason for that, it's a little complicated, but one of the reasons is the layers of the atmosphere. A typical atmosphere will look something like this. Warm air at the surface, all the way to the top, it starts to cool. So it gets a little bit cooler, a little bit colder by the very top. Now, during springtime, we oftentimes introduce kind of an inversion where it switches that trend. So instead of cooling with height, it actually gets a little warmer, and we call that a cap or an inversion. That acts like a lid on the atmosphere. So sometimes we'll see some showers and storms, but nothing very strong until the surface starts to cool. And when that does, or at least when it starts to warm and get hot enough to break through that cap, that's when we start to see that lid break off and the storms simply explode. And that's where we start to see a lot of the strong to severe thunderstorms we see, especially during springtime.
And with Mother Nature striking at any moment, it's important for everyone to be prepared. We've told you how to make sure you are weather aware, but what about actual preparations to reduce injuries and perhaps save your own life? Take a look.
Living where we do, it's not a matter of if we're going to get severe thunderstorms or tornadoes. It's a matter of when and how bad they're going to be. This is a large supercell. With
Rick Smith is the warning coordination meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Norman, Oklahoma.
So there's a lot of people that live here that don't really have a good grasp on, well, what do I do in a tornado?
And so today, right now, think about what you will do. Start where you live.
If it's a mobile home, there's really no good options for safety in a mobile home. So your plan needs to think about, where can I go? And that's going to require further in advance action if a tornado's coming.
In your home or office, consider this.
Find the part of the house or the building that you're in that puts as many walls between you and the outside as you can. Lowest floor, the centermost part of the building, and then cover up with whatever we have available.
And something to cover your head, like a helmet. On a severe weather day, there might be a little bit of extra work.
If it's a closet in the middle of the house, if that closet is full of junk, like many closets are in my house, you make room for your family to get in there on a severe weather day.
And consider what you might deal with after severe weather passes.
Our tornadoes happen when it's sunny and 85 degrees, and we may be dressed in shorts and flip-flops and tank tops, and we're not dressed for the environment after a tornado. Closed-toed shoes are important. Long pants are important. You're going to be walking out through all kinds of glass, wood, nails. Dress the part. Dress thinking that I could be walking around in debris, in the pouring rain, 40 degrees colder than it was when I went into the shelter, windy, and I may have to live in these clothes for some hours or days in some cases if your home is destroyed.
Kim Cloco-McLean is a societal impact researcher with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and is studying people's response to severe weather.
If you don't have a plan and things are starting to happen, then your brain kind of goes into like this sort of tunnel vision, and you're not considering as many things as you might if you're not in the moment, not in the crisis. So you know, just from that perspective, you'll be at a disadvantage if you're trying to push it off and not think about it until the last minute.
Kim's message: plan ahead.
As we get into severe weather season, it's important for people to think about what they need to have on hand if severe weather strikes, but also to be thinking about having a family plan if there's a severe weather day. So where will you be? Where will your children be? If you're coming up on a day where severe weather is possible, just have a plan. And if just the mere act of having a plan helps you so much the day that things take place.
We are just getting started here on Ahead of the Storm, still to come.
We're all familiar with those huge wind turbines, but I bet you didn't know those big windmills could be affecting radar. We're digging deeper into what's happening and how we can fix it next.